What does it mean when you have fatigue in the morning? Because it's not normal. When you have fatigue and you wake up in the morning, it means that your cortisol isn't coming up the way it's supposed to. So cortisol is our go hormone. We want that. And remember, we talked about in some previous videos, if you haven't, you can scroll back and look at them. You have a go and you have a discharge, rest and digest. Okay, so you have a go system and a rest and digest system. That is a cycle that happens in a 24-hour loop. And our bodies are cyclical. And especially if you're a woman, we have then monthly cycles, which is why we get more issues than men do. It's just the way it is, because your adrenal glands are going to produce your daily living hormones, and their main job is to produce cortisol. And cortisol is get up and go. The saber-tooth tiger is coming to get you. You haven't eaten for a day. Cortisol is going to be produced, right? The problem is that we're living on cortisol. And so now our poor little adrenal glands go, I'm tired. I can't do it. And then over time, we start to be unable to produce enough. And then we wake up with low cortisol. And we do a salivary test because salivary is the best way for looking at this particular hormone. And we do it in a 4-part test, which means that we look at it from the morning and it should be decreasing through the night. So it should come up in the morning, it should pop up in the middle of the day. That makes sense because then that's your most productive. And then it starts to come down in the afternoon until it starts to go down in the evening, which then allows you to make melatonin. When you take melatonin, by the way, because you can't sleep, you can mess up your circadian rhythm. Just be aware, low dose, less than 2 milligrams maybe. And realize that's not the fix. But when your cortisol doesn't come up in the morning, you're going to experience morning fatigue. You're going to be like, I'm not fit for human consumption before 10 a.m. Those are issues that have many factors, but you just got to get those are because your adrenals can't produce your cortisol secondary to other things. It's not like you need to take more cortisol. Those are blood sugar issues. Those are, which, are almost 100% of the time on top of fungus issues, which then can cause inflammation issues. So you can see that these are very, very complex, vicious loops, and they're predictable. If you have hormone issues and your cycle is off, it's predictable how it goes, right? There's the reasons, and that's the beauty of our body, is it tells us what's going on. But unfortunately, there's no drugs for this, so you aren't going to get a lot of answers a lot of time. And we've gotten we're starting to see a lot of fasting showing up, which is great, but not for women, except for long periods, short, like interspersed over time, right? Not daily, don't eat breakfast. So it's complex, but suffice it to say that if you have morning fatigue, you need to get your adrenals tested, and you need to see just what's going on and have a functional medicine doc help you start to figure out the multifactorial components going on with you. Hope that's helpful.